Hello and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech for yet more of your daily gaming news. Myself, Marta. Today is still the 29th of December and I have some rather weird and wonderful news this time for Battlefield 4, as it has been made illegal in China. And yes, I did just say that Battlefield 4 is illegal in some places. And now, basically, the game is now banned from sale in China starting this week due to the supposed discrediting of their national image in the storyline, and the game is actually deemed a threat to national security in China. Now, according to /Gear, the Chinese ministry wants the game removed from physical shelves as quickly as possible, as well as, of course, all local online vendors. And the ministry also want the games uninstalled from consoles and PCs, as the game is now deemed illegal. Now, the Chinese ministry is claiming that Battlefield 4 is, quote, an illegal game with content that endangers national security and is all about cultural invasion. Battlefield 4 relevant available downloads, patches, news and other requirements shall be deleted within 24 hours. Now, for those of you wondering what brought all this on, considering the game has been out for a little while, the ban is actually based on the recent China Rising expansion pack that, as most of you probably know, contains 4 maps on Chinese mainland, including new vehicles, high-tech equipment and 10 new assignments. Now, the plot consists of a fictional war in China stirred up by an Admiral Chang, who's out to topple the current government, and eventually in the storyline, China and the US team up to fight a common enemy. Now, news of the banning follows a report made by the Chinese state-run newspaper China Military that said that Battlefield 4, quote, smears China's image and is a form of a cultural invasion. And the country's biggest social media website, which is Weibo.com, is already censoring out ZanDi4, which is the Chinese translation for Battlefield 4. And ZDNet reports that online users are still passing Battlefield 4 around via peer-to-peer download links. Now, last week the law office of Robbins, Geller, Rudman and Dowd LLP submitted a class action lawsuit against Electronic Arts in the United States District Court for the Northern District of California. Now, this lawsuit is on behalf of Electronic Arts common shareholders and claims that EA allegedly issued materially false and misleading statements highlighting the purported strength of the company's rollout of Battlefield 4. Now, of course, EA and Battlefield 4, I've kind of been feeling the heat a little bit with Battlefield 4 being a little bit beleaguered with problems. Now, I've said this many times now, that I think maybe DICE stretched themselves a little bit too thin with trying to develop for so many platforms, and that's probably resulted in this being a messier launch than it should have been. But I still think they've done a pretty decent job with keeping up with it all and actually keeping on top of the updates for every single platform. So I don't really think that it's really necessary to start suing EA. That seems a bit weird, but I don't think anyone expected Battlefield 4 to get banned anytime soon, and I do wonder why it is that the Chinese government or what have you feels that this is a threat to national security. I haven't actually played Battlefield 4 at all, let alone the expansion, so I would be curious to hear some thoughts from those of you who have actually played the expansion, and if you could give a little bit of info about what they could have possibly taken offence to. That would be great, because I'm trying to wrap my head around this and I can't really do that at this time, so be curious to get a little bit of inside info, if you will. Still, there you have it, the latest news from Battlefield 4, a little bit unexpected, a little bit weird, but hey ho, that is sometimes life. Anyway, that is me done. As I said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.